whenever this video finds you. First of all, let me just thank you for giving me some of your time and attention to say some things to you as a Thursday thought. I have thoughts of philosophy and standards and principles and things that I've learned, things that I've had to study and make it a class or some type of workshop. And I thought I would just kind of break it down just to a small minimum amount of time to just share with you. So if you could do me a favor, when you see, share, or subscribe, even on the YouTube, the only reason why I'm pushing you to subscribe to it, so then you won't have to look for it later on. And then if you find value in anything that I'm saying, then it will automatically pop up for you. So it's not going to give you, it's not going to send you a whole bunch of emails. It's not going to make you pay for anything on a subscription type of base. But if you could just press subscribe, I'm really trying to really build it whereas people can have it later on. All right. So thank you for this time. This is your good old friend, your guide, Dr. Cortez D. Sims, and I'm your mental behavior coach and your counselor, your friend, your great support system here. But I have to tell you very, very quickly that you will never, ever fit in. You will never fit in. All right? Avoid all the frustrations with that particular situation. I don't care where you are placed right now. You're placed there to learn, observe, so you can teach it later on. That's it. Trying to fit in, get people to like you, get people to see your value, that is not your responsibility at all. At all, at all. Thank you, my good brother entrepreneur in the making. I'm great, sir. Listen, I just want to remind you very well, never try to fit in, okay? I'm just reading the scripture in the book of Luke, the 6th chapter, the 92nd verse. It says, even biblical times, even God's begotten son Jesus said, and he told them that no one who puts their hand to the plow and looks backward is fit to do God's work. They're not fit to do it. In other words, if you're working hard, you're praying God for blessings, things are opening up for you, and you still referencing, or I should say applying the past and still trying to get things done, you're not going to fit in to do greater things. So if you're trying to do things to fit in, want people to accept you, making these comments, trying to attend to these people's things because you want people to see that you're very supportive, but it's really, really a way that you want people to say, hey, I fit in the support system, I fit in your life, and I'm fitting, or trying to force this love. Stop doing it to yourself. Save yourself the frustration, because people will receive what they want to receive when they want to receive it. They will also embrace who they want to hear information from when they want to hear the information from, who they want to hear it from. And people normally pick their teachers. They pick who they want to learn things from. And so when you try to do all these other things just to fit in, and you don't want to be known to, well, I'm trying to fit in. You don't want to be known for that, but you'd be amazed if you just sit down and listen to people. They say all kind of quirky things, corny stuff, loud comments, acting different things in their behavior, throwing tantrums, making different comments, because they really want to be heard very, very badly because of some inner things that's going on with them. That's a different subject. But those are usually those type of people. And in my assessments, I accept those things because that's who they are, or that's what's going on within them. They might not be who they define to be, but something in them wants to fit in so bad because they want to be heard. They want to be accepted. They want to be acknowledged. They want to first feel like, hey, can you understand the things or the words that's coming out of my mouth? You know, but never ever feel that you need to fit in. You will never fit in the situation. That is called, ladies and gentlemen, uniqueness. Uniqueness is amazing. Okay, embrace your uniqueness. That's the antidote for not trying to fit in, and you can avoid these frustrations. Spend more time with embracing your uniqueness. Embrace how unique you are. Yes, when God thought about you and to consider you and to create you, he created you in such a way that you don't look like nothing else. All right? And that's been stated over and over and over again. And we would say in certain situations, or maybe in certain periods of our life, that, okay, I get that, okay, I know that, but then we still try to do some other stuff. Depends on how we accept that new phase or that new dimension or those new set of people. Everybody has their own uniqueness. And people are still trying to figure you out like, wow, what's so different about you? And then because you spend some time embracing your uniqueness, you can explain to them, hey, I might not do this. I may not do this. I may not speak this way. I may not articulate this way. I may think different. I'm going to do a lot of things absolutely different from you, but that's what makes me unique. That makes me a creative person, just like you are the same way. And when you spend your time around those people who are very accepting of your uniqueness, that's what makes it a nice, amazing, communicable circle. That's what makes you be able to say, oh my God, every time I see you, there's something great and unique about you, because you bring more things of creativity, more things of relevance to that particular roundtable discussion, that meeting. We get tested all of the time. When we go to sit down and have meals with people, and they individually give you menus so you could pick what you like. Have you ever been around people who cannot make up their mind? Now, I've been accused sometimes of not being able to make up my mind. That's because I have different taste buds. They hit me a certain type of way, but that's my uniqueness. And but for those people who usually can't have a mind of their own, and they go, well, I'm going to have the same thing that he's having, same thing she's having. But then you ask them, well, what do you like? And they can never tell you, or they always in struggle with how they want to dress themselves or want to represent themselves. They have a hard time with their identity and their uniqueness. But I'm here to let you know, don't never feel like you need to do those things to fit in. Avoid that frustration. Avoid it. It will frustrate the life out of you, and you still left with no resolutions, no answers, and you're still trying to figure it out. So it's best to connect with some type of coach, some type of mentor that loves you for who you are, and that would kind of encourage you big time to say, hey, embrace who you are. I love the person. I love the way you make your statements. I love the way you think. I love the way you put that particular statement. I love your delivery methods. So that's a beautiful thing in your own uniqueness. But when I brought up the scripture, because it made me think about how we want God to bless, how we want God to fulfill and supply and do all the things that he's going to do, because that's who God is in his own uniqueness, his own identity, then it's very, very hard to do that. And you still trying to fit in and still trying to turn back and look at the past and bring the past currently in a new place. It doesn't work that way. So if you're moving forward with your own uniqueness to move forward in everything you're doing while you're putting the work, you plowing, you sowing, or as we like to say, you're grinding, then walk into that unique place without the mindset, I'm doing this so then they can see what I'm made of. Well, that's trying to fit in. Okay? Last thing, when you look at all the land that does not have buildings on them, all of that land, if you want it, is yours. And that open land for you to see how much land that is open, that doesn't have any civilization on it, that doesn't have any type of traffic or business, it's open like this so you can get a great idea of what you can have, because when you possess it, it has its own uniqueness. Those buildings that are already established, they're already established already. Why would you try to go on there and try to change stuff? They're already uniquely customized, built for those ideas, visions, and goals. But when there's an open land, that's open canvas, ladies and gentlemen. That's an open canvas, so then your life can draw out its own sculpture. It will have its own infrastructure. It will have its own framework. And then you come in there and bring your creativity that will be able to colorize how you see it, because you have your own uniqueness. So avoid all that frustration. Don't try to fit in. Allow people to see the unique person and the type of person you bring to the relationship. You bring to the business meeting. You bring to that leadership. And then they could be able to say, man, I'm so glad that you came, because you brought a whole nother set of ideas. Exactly. Because I've made up my mind, made a decision to see what it feels like to make a lifestyle to live in my own uniqueness. Embrace your uniqueness. All right? Look at the word uniqueness. Tell yourself that I'm very unique. Don't say I'm unique in these situations. No, I'm a unique person, period. And in these different paradigms, I bring uniqueness to that area. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please pass the word. Share it to all your people. Let them know, say, hey, it's not okay to try to fit in. That is not okay. It doesn't give you a stamp or the stamp of approval to say, hey, I'm trying to fit in. But you'll be surprised. I bump into some seniors that still act out, still make crazy comments and things like that, because they're still trying to find a way to be accepted, because they have not had years of feeling embraced. And that has a lot to do with what was going on within them. They probably had a lot of responsibilities, raising children, having to work and things like that. And so when you bump heads, as we call it, going against people's thought processes and looking all around, and people say, well, there's something about you. You just don't want to get along with us. No, you was raised into a family, raised into a set of friends that had your own unique things, because when you start having heirs, dependents, children, It is set for a certain type of region for them to be able to work with, connect with across the country, because you're more than just the city and the state and that little building or that home or whatever place that you were raised in. None of the Jackson 5 still live in 2300 Jackson Street in Gary, Indiana. Not that I know of. They have made their home where it started, but they all have their own individuality. They have their own uniqueness to come something great out of that one tribal family. And it's up to them to discover what that is outside of what they've been labeled for. And they had some working and things like that as a child, and they have ballooned, they have blossomed since then. So save yourself the frustration. Stop trying to make a point or be heard or try to overtalk people. Spend more time in the basics. All right? Observation, acceptance, listening. And tell them, okay, I understand. But just know that when you say I understand, people think that understanding means I agree. And understanding anything just simply means that I have the knowledge of where you're coming from, but it does not mean that I personally agree with where you are and what you're talking about. And that even frustrates people, because people, I don't know why, they have made it whereas me saying I understand means I agree. I don't know where that dysfunction comes from, but you could be the person that dispels that type of behavior and that type of mentality. All right? Without even arguing, without even making a point. But you will never, as I end this, you will never, ever, ever fit in. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to have a mind of your own. You were meant to learn from all the teachings, what to do, what not to do, and walk into your own identity. And so when they ask you, what do you think about the matter? You won't sound like everyone else. There's no uniqueness in that, because now you went with the crowd. You can say, well, this is what I personally discovered. This is what I personally found out. This is what I personally feel. This is what I personally think about the matter. And then let the chips fall where it lie. Don't feel like you need to be part of the other end too of the resolution team. Okay? Be a part of the unique squad and say, and that's my thoughts on it, and I approve of my own message. And be in a place of humility, not cocky, not arrogance, not all those other type of factors and all those other different terms, but just sit there and be like, okay, and that's just my take on it, my take. You know, that's what I wanted to give. So congratulations on you guys walking into a great place of healing, a great place of identity and purpose. You're going to do so well for this latter half of this year. Oh my goodness, you have no idea what is in store for you as you walk into this new evolving person that had to come through a lot of different things. So I have to also thank you guys for listening to these Thursday thoughts that I just shared, because I have a lot of stuff that I share with different groups and different sectors and stuff because of my calling versus my stalling, right? And I just thought I'd just give back to it. So please subscribe. Please just press the share button or the like so that it can just pop up in your feed. That's the only reason I'm asking for it. And don't even hesitate. Go ahead and buy the order the copy of Qualified But Not Preferred. It will bless your entire life. It's been a blessing for me for over 15 years. This is going to be very, very impactful. Get it as a gift for some other people. Share it. You know, I really appreciate it. So that's www.cortezdsims.com, and that's your Thursday thought for this particular weekend. Have an amazing Juneteenth for those that support that type of celebratory moment, and have a great weekend. Embrace your love. But again, never, ever feel like you need to fit in. Okay? You're having those desires and these ideas for reasons, so it can help you stand out. Okay? Don't even compare how your shape your body is. Work on what your BMI is. You know, body mass index. Embrace that. You know, love all of that. Hey, I love all of this. You know, I love all of this. You know, I would never in a million years think that I was not going to have any hair, but I had to embrace my uniqueness. Now it has become something different. My own daughter was like, Dad, if you start growing your hair back, I don't think you would be my dad, because I know you like this. I love you like that. And I had to embrace that type of thing. You know, no, everything's not going to go as planned. But look at how you had some activity in life to even share it, or you would be having dirt thrown on you because your life is over. All right? Thank you. I love you all. Take care and take charge. Peace.
Here, $90 crossbow. Let's see